What's up, Tricology family, and welcome back to another special edition episode of the Dynamite reviewed episode. And then with me back is my co-host with the most, Leland. What's up, brother?
What is up, everybody? Dynamite was wild last night, and I am ready to get into it because, man, so much happened in last night's episode.
Yeah, we were supposed to record for last Friday, but as you know, schedule conflicts as we are both filmmakers in the industry. You know how that is, but nothing really too special happened. It was like a championship edition of Rampage going and blending into Beach excuse me, Beach Bay week. So there was nothing too special, but going into Dynamite, there was a lot of specialties, a lot of controversies, and a lot of things happened. So you ready to start?
Let's get into it.
So first off, we were supposed to get Jon Moxley and the newest member of the AEW family, Brian Kendrick, who finally requested his release from WWE, but got into some more trouble. So if you guys thought the Walter and Gunther situation was bad, Brian Kendrick got himself in trouble on social media when he discussed the Holocaust. I was like, why would you do that?
And it's kind of crazy because Whoopi Goldberg is going through the same thing right now with a Holocaust comment. So it's crazy that two people are going through the exact same thing. But I was really excited about seeing Brian Kendrick on Dynamite, and when I seen Yuta come out, I was like, okay, that's a card change. But I also got a chance to see Danhausen again with Orange Cassidy, so not too mad. They made sure that he wasn't too mad at changing the card. But I think it was the right thing for Tony to do, to kind of take Kendrick out if he has a lot of heat in social media right now, and not the good kind of heat, the bad heat. It's probably for the best.
Yeah, so instead of Brian Kendrick, Jon Moxley gets Wheeler Yuta. So this was a pretty good matchup. We even saw a cameo from Danhausen, which is another crazy moment. But in the end, Jon Moxley gets the win. But at the end of the match, this is where it get interesting. Bryan Danielson finally gets a confrontation with Jon Moxley. And what happened there? I thought we were going to see a match between these two, but unlikely. We are most likely, I don't know if it's going to happen, but Bryan Danielson wants to do a alliance with Jon Moxley. And I'm going to read the statement for everything here he said. Why figures should we be fighting against each other? When should we fight together? And everybody was all in with the yes chance and everything. He even said, that he even criticized the AEW champions, saying there is no reason why a cowboy should be world champion, nor should a dinosaur be a tag team champion, or a man that is made contribute to society that he wants to create Voss representing this company as TNT champion. Then he go on to say, we can take someone like Will Universe, Daniel Garcia, or Lee Marty. He even criticized Orange Cassidy, Team 2.0, and Matt Sydal in the process to train those guys to turn into the future of pro wrestling. And then all camera angles when he showed Moxley, he was like all confused. They're like, oh, hold up. I don't know what to think about. But Brian Daniels just said, but why don't you just think about it real quick? But from that whole promo, I'm getting a AEW version of Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin two-man power trip vibe here. So what are your thoughts on that?
Man, oh man, when Danielson gave him that kind of offer of them two teaming up, they are two very mean wrestlers. Like, they both work snug. They both have real aggressive styles. But the thing is, Mox's style don't really matches Danielson's style all the way. So I don't see these guys really teaming up. But the picture that Danielson did paint was a very interesting picture. So like Daniel Garcia being with them and Lee Moriarty being with them, that's an interesting faction. And I like AEW for when they do like their veteran wrestlers mixed in with their younger wrestlers. So definitely an interesting mix of the two. But I don't think this is going to happen. I think they're going to end up fighting in the long run. It was kind of cool. It would be kind of cool to see them one as champ, one as TNT champion, and one as tag, and see them both as tag team champions. I mean, they really would hold all the gold in the division or in the company, I should say. So that's interesting, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's all going to be a fight because I don't see them coming out and matching tag uniforms anytime soon. I do want to say one thing about Danielson. It kind of rubs me the wrong way that he's not trying to actively sell any merch or come out with a shirt that help sales with AEW because he's getting a fat paycheck and I'm pretty sure he's selling something. But to help the company make some of that money back, I think it would be good if he was at least okay with wearing one of his merch shirts and not just a white plain shirt. That kind of rubs me the wrong way. Don't know if it's work or if it's his real kind of personal thing that he just doesn't want to sell merch anymore. But I think it helps the company make money back.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting how this goes because originally, if John Moxley didn't go to rehab, he himself was going to turn heel and then align himself with Eddie Kingston as a heel tag team, and then you probably would have got maybe Bryan Danielson and Heyman Adam Page together against those two. But now the role has reversed, and now we're getting in this situation. So if they do form an alliance together, where does Eddie Kingston fall in? Is he going to join them, or how this going to go? That's the question in everyone's mind. But we'll just have to wait and see what John Moxley's decision is going to be. Bryan Danielson just told him that just think about it. But we have a lot of time to progress here. Is it leading them a match towards Revolution? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But after that, we go into this crazy promo where Brandy Rose was in the ring. She was in the ring, and she literally, oh my God, she literally disrespect Chicago when she said, "Oh, we are in Cleveland." I'm like, oh my goodness, bruh. And then when Dan Lambert came out, oh my goodness. That's when really got out of hand. First off, with the chant, with the STFU to Brandy, oh my goodness. Then that ain't a stick of the nail. Then Dan Lambert to go. He mentioned a lot of heat, especially with Cody Rhodes. What else he talked about? He talked about a lot of things. I think he probably mentioned one of the being face down. I probably was a WWE reference. Well, one of the two, and then Brandy mentioned when one of his top fighters from what used to be American Top Team got knocked out by Jay Paul. She also mentioned Amanda Nunes, who was a part of American Top Team, but she left to create our own top team. That was a lot of reference there. And then even with Ethan Page, when Brandy say, "Oh, the reason you're here is because we're getting Josh Alexander in there." I'm like, is the forbidden door going to open for Josh Alexander? That's a lot of things to discuss. And then after the back and forth, Paige Van Zandt came out, and these two, Paige and Brandy, went to a brawl. But as you know, the entire AEW's locker room had to come in and break it up. And a lot of people said, let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. So with that, I think this is going to bleed in between a rivalry with Brandy Rose and Paige Van Zandt. So
Yep, sure is. This is their Ronda Rousey moment, I guess. So I was really confused by this promo. Like I was really confused about what was supposed to happen. Not sure why Brandy is being a heel when Dan Lambert is already an established heel. So was this a turn? Was this like I don't know. I was very confused, and sometimes I'm very confused when Brandy kind of cuts her promo because you don't know if she's trying to come off as likable or I think her and the whole Rhodes, her and Cody are just trying to be, betweeners at this point. So I'm just not sure. And I was very confused why she would come out being a heel if Dan Lambert was coming out right afterwards. I don't think you want the uh STFU chants to Brandy. You would want the crowd to lean it to um, Dan Lambert, the actual heel in the situation. So interesting to see what they're going to do. But Brandy did look a little rattled on that mic. She got a little shook, and she didn't have really a good comeback for the crowd. So if you're going to be heel, you got to go full heel and sink your teeth into it. Hey, Trickle, what do you think about the relationship of Brandy and Cody, their relationship with the AEW audience right now? I don't really understand the hate that the AEW audience has right now for Cody. Can you maybe try to explain that a little bit, or what do you think about it?
well, let me just say this. Cody Rhodes is the John Cena of AEW.
Facts.
But they want this man to turn heel. But Cody said no. If you saw that promo before the ladder match that he had with Sammy Guevara, he's not turning heel. That's case in point. That's not gonna happen. But they don't get listen. They care for Cody Rhodes. Some of them do. They have it's a love and hate relationship with Cody Rhodes, but they don't like Brandy at all. If you saw the promo and all that negative she getting, you know why. So that's my thoughts on that. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an interesting relationship they have with Cody, and right now, especially since like Cody, I think he does things that I think other people who started this company can't do. So like he does have that kind of ready for TV kind of personality, and he is doing other shows and doing other things. But that's all just to bring more awareness to AEW at the end of the day. And I don't think a lot of people see that that's what that's all for. So it'd be interesting to see if he does go heel, if this is just a really long storyline into it. Because if AEW is a true alternative to WWE, then if they want him to go heel, play him out as long as you can, and then finally give us what we are looking for. But I mean, last night there was no in-betweener for Brandy. That was full heel. So now Dan Lambert is the babyface in that scenario, but he's also the heel with Paige and Lance Archer. It's confusing.
Yeah, we'll get to the Lance.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that, but just to give an example of how they got him playing heel in one area, but babyface in the other.
Yeah, but going back to Brandy Rhodes and Paige Van, I don't know how this going to turn out. If we're going to get a one-on-one match, or it's Team Brandy versus Team Paige, or how this going to turn out. But we'll just have to wait and see. So we go backstage, and Matt Hardy is disappointed with Private Party that they didn't get the job done on last Rampage, winning the World Tag Team titles from Jungle Express, but Jurassic Express. But
funny moment when Isaiah Cassidy had put his hand up to get a pound, and Andrade's like helper reached over and gave him the pound. Isaiah, man, I think Isaiah is a heck of a star in the making. I think Private Party, period, is a good start. I said the last time, I'm ready for them to kind of move away from the whole, Matt Hardy thing. And also, I want to see Andrade wrestle more. I don't want to see him keep just doing these, walk on 5-second promos. He's best in the ring. Get him in the ring, man. Get him in a rivalry with somebody. Get him in some kind of program. But get that man back in the ring.
Yeah, so we backstage with Matt Hardy and Private Party. They was disappointed, and then he goes and brings up Sammy Guevara's open challenge for the TNT title that's going to happen on this upcoming Rampage. Up walks Andre Idolo, who was also criticized HFO guys for coming short up last week. Hardy says he knows that's why Isaiah Cassidy is going to kick Sammy Guevara's ass on Rampage. He even mentioned, he's going to take his girl. I'm like, Negro, I have a better chance of taking his girl than you do. I'm like, get the F out of here. Oh, my goodness. And then Andrade said, make some demands. And then Hardy grabs Cassidy by the face and tell him to get the job done on Rampage, and now he let him down. So that is a confirmation. We are getting Sammy Guevara versus Isaiah Cassidy for the TNT title for this upcoming Rampage.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I like both these guys.
Yeah. And then next up, we have the House of Black, Malachi Black and Brody King versus the Death Triangle, Pac and Penta. Now, coming in, Pac had the blindfold on, and for the few first minutes, first half of the match, he worked really good with the blindfold on. Yeah, I really thought he was gonna be like a blind warrior or something like that. And then when he took it off, and he was at a full 100% scene. Like he could see really good afterwards. I don't know if he was really doing the mind games that he's been doing with Malachi Black, but it definitely were in progression. Like this match saw it all. It was really good, but at the end, Malachi Black and Brody King, the House of Black, wins.
Yep, they sure did, and it was a really good match. Now Penta has got hit with the black mist, the actual black mist that Malachi shoots. But I was hoping that Pac had like some paint around his eyes or something just to signify that he got hit with it. But really cool, like blind man walking to the ring and dodging stuff and everything like that. That was a pretty cool moment. But the match was really good. House of Black is a force to be reckoned with, and I can definitely see them as future champs.
Yeah, but I don't want the House of Black to be like just a only tag team, because I see them gonna be a single competitors as well. So I want them to have a 50% deal, like have them be both single competitors and tag team components as well.
Yeah.
But moving on, we have a promo with Adam Cole. He says he still undefeated, and he doesn't care what anybody else says about Orange Cassidy. And that was it. Yeah, straight to the point. And this probably could lead to him possibly getting an AEW a title match with Paige, either at Revolution or Double or Nothing. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes from there.
Yeah.
And moving on to Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho. This was a rematch from the TBS tournament match, and this turned out really good. It was a really good match between the two. And then at the end, Nyla Rose wins with the Beast Bomb to pick up the win. So I don't know where this leads on to as far as between the two of them. But both of them got to be in tension for the TBS title with Jade Cargill, because we all know Thunder Rosa is next in line for Britt Baker. We just don't know how that is going to unfold. We'll just have to wait and see this coming Rampage when Thunder Rosa finally takes on Mercedes Martinez in the upcoming Rampage.
This was a great match between Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose. The finish on this match from Nyla was incredible. I remember talking to my wife after this match was over, and I said, man, given that Nyla Rose is like a transgender wrestler, and the fact that like no reports ever came out about her like injuring girls or being a woman or being a liability, she's such a like just professional at what she does, and her matches like because of her size and I think just because of her persona, you always feel like the girl is like kind of in deep trouble when going against her. But I was thinking about that report that came out saying that Ruby wasn't happy. I don't know if you've seen that one, that Ruby wasn't happy with her position at AEW and seeing her lose again here. I wonder if there's any kind of truth to that, and if that was kind of punishment for that report coming out, and having that kind of bad press for AEW.
Yeah, but we just have to wait and see how that unfolds and what the future between these two women and how that's gonna go. But
them two in the ring, they do a really good match.
Yes,
the size difference works really good between these two. They do a really good match.
Yes, like I said, that it was a pretty good match between those two, and that was the only women's match we had. But afterwards, the Gun Club attacks Jungle Boy. So they was out in the snow. Oh my God! They got one of the Gun Club boys grabbed the camera, approached Jungle Boy. They literally was mocking and taunting him. They found outside. The Guns throw Jungle Boy into a pile of snow, and then the Guns finally walk on when Luchasaurus and Christian K arrive to the scene and try to help out. And I don't know where this match is gonna happen. It's kind of too far to blend into Revolution. It's probably gonna happen either on a Dynamite or a Rampage, one of the two.
Yeah, I actually like this segment a lot. So I like them getting out of the arena and going outside a little bit. Just kind of opens up the set for them. So I did like this segment a lot. I wish it was more of a beatdown, before Luchasaurus came with the save and all of them. But having the image of like the Ass Boys and Billy Gunn just running down the street was hilarious to me. And then also Austin Gunn wearing this ridiculous scarf around his neck, also being shirtless was hilarious. But yeah, fun. I'm happy to see the Ass Boys getting their time to kind of shine on Dynamite, and also awesome that Danhausen has named them Ass Boys and has become a big part of their gimmick.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. So next week we are getting Hangman Adam Page against the Murder Horror Monster Lance Archer in a Texas Death Match next week in Atlantic City on Dynamite. But before then, we went to a promo where Hangman called out a Murderer Hawk, but that lands Page getting what do you call this a finisher? I don't know. It was just like a splash, a power bomb that he did through the ringside area table. Yeah, I did that. That's what it's called. But I knew this match was gonna happen. This was gonna happen on the Dynamite because this was not gonna bleed out to Revolution.
Yeah, this match is going to be, I think, exactly what we think it's going to be. It's just going to be a lot of punching, a lot of bleeding, a lot of cool, fun matches. But I think, of course, Archer is going to go down at the end, and Jungle Boy will live to see another day as champ. But I think this is just traditional, classic wrestling build-up. You got two people who don't like each other, and they're building up that rivalry good, for us to have a nice AEW championship match. I would say there's like no real like like hot rivalries in AEW right now that everyone's looking forward to seeing. Well, I can't say that because the main event of this night, I think, just took that spot as far as like the main rivalry for people to watch AEW. But this one, I feel like it probably won't be a rematch after Paige goes over Lance Archer, and then we'll just see who they put in that running. If you look at the stats, then Adam Cole is the next in line for some kind of championship opportunity.
Yeah, but moving on with Chris Jericho demands an Inner Circle team meeting next week. He says he talked about being embarrassed at the absence of Santana Ortiz in the AEW's trio match last week show. He's asked if Eddie Kingston has some kind of control over them. He says no one is more influenced in AEW than Le Champion. He demands a full Inner Circle team meeting next week on Dynamite, live in the ring. He says the attendance is mandatory and tells Santana Ortiz that they better be there. Does this lead to a breakup to the Inner Circle? And this is bleeds into Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston at Revolution.
It sure does seem that way, right? Tensions are really high with the Inner Circle, and this could be just a big blow-up match or blow-up meeting that happens next week on Dynamite. For me, I would say I definitely don't want to see the Inner Circle break up, but also I do want to see Santana Ortiz get their own shine. And if that means leaving the Inner Circle, then so be it. But I'm ready for that tag team in particular to go for a real hard run and hard push for the AEW championships. And also, I would like to see the Briscoes enter the scene at one point or another and see a match between them two in the future.
Yeah, but and then afterwards with the promo, the comedy team run down the confirmed matches for this Friday's Rampage. We're getting Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. We're also getting the TNT Championship match with Sammy Guevara and Cassidy, and then also for the FTW Championship. Excuse me, and then as well. Yeah, but so that's coming up for this Friday's Rampage. And then finally, the main event, CM Punk versus MJF.
Dun, dun, dun.
First, there was a bot finish where MJF took a rope and literally choked out Punk. But then when the ref raised MJ's hand, whoops, the rope dropped. I was like, did you use this? This match is going to continue. So this match lasted like 40 minutes, if I'm correct. This lasted about 40 minutes. And then
took up all the rest of Dynamite.
Yeah. And then at the end, towards the end of when the match got restarted, Wardlow makes his way to the entrance tunnel. He heads down to the entrance ramp, and then Punk locked eyes on Wardlow, got close to his face. And then when when they turns around, MJF sneaks the dynamite ring that he has in his hand, and then Punk turn around, bam, with a cheap shot, and then goes for the cover. MJF picks up the win over CM Punk, and so CM Punk versus his first loss in AEW. And then we see Wardlow shaking his head in disappointment as MJF celebrates his victory. The commentators saw the key highlights in one of the replays. Wardlow, who snuck the Dynamite Diamond ring to MJF behind the referee's back, and the commentators admit of not seeing their went live. Then Wardlow enters the ring, and MJF sneakily gets into the ring get the ring out of his possession, and then heads back to the hands of Wardlow. MJF tossed the Shot-Tag crowd when he was sitting down like CM Punk does, and that's how the show went off the air. So
what a heck of a match, right?
Yeah. I thought this was literally the moment where Warlow is going to turn on MJF. But I would say wait until Warlow wins the Face of the Revolution ladder match at Revolution, and to kind of build him up to try to be this unstoppable babyface that the fans want him to be. And then right around that time when maybe when MJF wins the world title, probably like at the end of this year, because the way they do the world championship situation, I think him and Adam Page is gonna be champion until like Full Gear, because a lot of the champions they had, they held it at least about a year. So I think MJF's gonna be champion by the end of this year, and then that's where the moment comes around. Warlord turns on MJF.
That sounds good. It's like a good predicament. I'll put my money on that. Last night, watching that match, they did so many classic, like babyface heel things. Great moment when CM Punk was punching MJF and he was bouncing off the ropes, coming back for another one, bouncing off the ropes, coming back for another one. And then the great moment where CM Punk let a fan chop MJF. I am over the finish of MJF in his ring, but they did do it differently last night because they kept the camera on Wardlow and CM Punk, and I just didn't see the switch off, but I saw that MJF was holding something, and I figured it was the ring. But then after that replay came out, and they kind of got it from like a fan's perspective, and it was like, oh, okay, so he handed him that. I didn't even see that with how they had the camera angle before. So that was good. I like the fake finish that happened, and the referee looking at that rope and him going through all that gave the fans hope. But what does this say now? MJF can say that he has beaten CM Punk in Chicago. We're never going to hear the end of this, even when he goes to a different company, maybe. This is just going to be a part of MJF's legacy now in history. And he's going to have so much claim to say that he beat CM Punk in Chicago. So I do know, at the end of that match, you can see that MJF and CM Punk are kind of talking to each other. They're holding each other. I would love to know what was said in that match. And I would say this is probably MJF's best match since being in Dynamite. CM Punk did take a really hard hit when he was doing that reverse Frankenstein. But the match was just really good, and it kept me on edge the whole time. The crowd being behind it was really good. But I figured MJF was going to go over. I didn't want to believe that it was going to go over, but I figured that much. But this does make this the main rivalry. We need to see CM Punk beat MJF. We need to see this keep going. So this is definitely, CM Punk needs to win the next one and then go to a rubber match. But MJF is a heel. He's going to cheat to win, and he definitely did last night. But this match was awesome, and the fact that it went the distance and it went so long made it even more exciting.
Yeah, I expected a clean finish for MJF, but hey, it's MJF. He's going to do anything to win, so that's unexpected there. But
yeah.
But I think the real question is, what does this lead afterwards? Are we going to get another match? I don't know. Do these two guys go their separate ways? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I think after next week's Dynamite to see where that's going to play out, and then try to build up to Revolution. So that so we have to wait probably until next week Dynamite to see how that is going to fall out, and then going into Revolution. So this is just a starting point for right now.
Yeah, Revolution is going to be a big show because there's a lot of things coming to the head. They're doing a lot of different stories all at once. So I think Revolution is going to be a big blow-off show for a lot of these rivalries that's building up. Who knows if next week, the Inner Circle might say it's going to be, not MJF, but Chris Jericho and That's the big dude name. Jake Hager. There we go. Chris Jericho and Jake Hager versus Santana Ortiz for the future of the inner circle or something like that. So I think there's a lot of things happening, but also the Eddie Kingston and Jericho rivalry is going to continue once Kingston is cleared. I think that's going to pick back up. But I would say definitely you're going to see Mox and Bryan at Revolution for sure. And then another MJF and CM Punk at Revolution.
Yep. We can't wait for this coming Rampage this Friday, and then leading on to next week's Dynamite in Atlantic City. But yeah. But that's our review for today, and hopefully we'll be able to cover this Rampage if none of our schedules is too influence on there. Hopefully we'll be back for this week's Rampage, but that's our show for today. Just keep on the lookout for that if we're going to be uploading for Rampage, and we'll be back next week as for next week's Rampage. Dynamite.
Also, comment, let us know what was your favorite moments of Dynamite. Let us know what's your most anticipated matches for Revolution, and what rivalries are you guys keeping an eye on, and how do you guys think about what we think about the Dynamite or the AEW universe and where it's going right now.
All right. And then hopefully we'll see y'all for Rampage review. And we'll be back next week for another Dynamite review. And with that, he is Leland, and I'm Trico, and we'll see y'all. Peace out.